Everyone doing though? We're at 1 million cups. If you are new to 1 million cups, welcome. If you're an old hat at this, thanks for coming back. Appreciate it. I am Eric. I'm your host today, one of the volunteers. So grab a cup of Joe if you can, and let's get moving. So next slide, please, Katie. So what do we do here? We share, we offer help, we ask for help. We essentially try to build an entrepreneurial community and kind of a different one, not the same old, same old. We try to do it a little bit differently, and we have some differentiators to that. Next slide. And that is, we don't do pitches, we do presentations. We're about connecting people, not necessarily just handing out business cards and hoping. We really want people to be part of the community, which means that connection is going to stick with you for the whole week, for the whole month, for the whole life of your product, hopefully. And the most important thing in my mind is that we're radically and intentionally inclusive. We want everybody and anyone who's got an idea to have an opportunity to present that idea and get some help. In doing this happens not just here in Seattle, but all across the country. There's at least 168 communities, probably more, with thousands of attendees and hundreds of volunteers working each week to make this happen. And during each one of these presentations, we're talking about education, presentations, and connections. Those are kind of the mantra that we try to go. We want people to learn. We want people to practice their presentations. We want to make these connections. And if we do this as a cycle, everyone will create a more thriving entrepreneurial world. And we've got a phone in the background. I'm at the Collective today. This is where this is pictures showing the Collective. It's one of our sponsors, but when we get together, it's going to look like this, where someone would be up in front. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we are doing these Zoom calls. So, but it's still an outstanding event. And every time you think about whether or not you might be that person standing up there, you have to ask this question. Do you have all the answers and feel like you know exactly what you're doing? I'll bet the answer is no. And that's great. That means we're here to help. We'll help you in any way we can so that you can get out here, tell your story to a group of people who are interested, and then we'll support you and be part of your community. This doesn't happen in a vacuum. We have some sponsors. We'll never ask money from you. We don't ask money from these people either, but they help us out. Seattle Strong provides coffee when we're in person. A small studio takes care of our meetup page, and Human Up is taking care of our active campaign, which is our soon-to-be method of communicating. And we also have a group of volunteers. There's 5 of us right now, and we could use some more help. So if you want to be part of the community and help us make this vibrant Seattle entrepreneurial spirit grow, let us know. Today, we're going to do this twice. We're going to have we've already had the coffee and conversation, but we're going to have 2 different 6-minute presentations. Each one will be followed by about 20 minutes of Q&A. And at the very end, we're going to hang out and do some connecting in some breakout rooms. So that'll happen a little bit later today than normal, but how great is it that we're going to have 2 presenters? So it's very exciting. As we're going through this, because we've got 2 presenters, we need to be very efficient. So please try to really be a supportive listener and get your questions, write them down if you can. Listen to what's going on and where can you add to their experience. All those things that you can think about will help you make a better question and a better connection later if we get to that, if you connect with the presenter at some later point. So when we get to the next step, which is when we get to the very end of this and we're doing our question and answers, you'll be able to raise your hand. Okay, so be sure to use a thoughtful question so that you can really get it to the point in a hurry. And we're hoping that our presenters today will also do a little more very direct answers instead of long drawn out. We're going to try to do that. It's hard to do, it really is, but if we can practice that, that would be a fantastic thing for you to practice. That being said, it is 9/11, and we are going to have our first presenter, which is Ben from Beanie Sleeper. Take it away.
Hi,
if everyone else could mute, it would be great.
I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm going to start my clock. Get in presentation mode. All right. Start my clock. Hi, everybody. My name is Ben. I'm going to start with the why. So this is Beanie Sleeper. And basically, we just want you to sleep better. And we're doing that by making a beautifully designed cotton head wrap that makes you feel safe, cared for, and comfortable while sleeping. And we sell head wraps. That's the what. So my name is Ben. I'm a 3-time entrepreneur, a cat dad to Mr. Banks and Rabbit, son of great parents Jerry and Elaine, and I'm a friend to people who get me, and I am a bootstrapper extraordinaire. This logo I paid $7 for on Fiverr. So basically, the story starts here, October 16th of last year. So this is my journey from then until literally yesterday when I updated this. So I was in the hospital on October 16th. Something that came up was that I couldn't sleep. It was either very cold or the lights were always on, people were coming in. It was October, so I had a regular winter beanie with me that I would put on my head, fold it up. It was hot, lots of fabric. It would lay on my eyes, but it did the trick. But I said to myself, I need to do something better. And that's what happened when I got out on November 1st, this was the prototype I made. Never made anything before in my life. Seriously, I had to teach myself how to sew on YouTube. But this is what came out of it on January 19th. This is the Beanie Sleeper. The colors, the mesh inner lining, the whole bit. Keep in mind, please ask me questions afterwards. I need to get through this because I don't want to get cut off. So these are 2 important dates for me. March 15th was normal. March 16th was incredibly abnormal. From March 15th, before, I thought travel, camping, and colleges would be my market. Then COVID hit, and on March 16th, when lockdown happened, everything changed. And I had to figure out, was I going to pivot or persevere? So I pivoted. And this is where I wound up. So these are wonderful women who are in chemo treatment. I honestly had no idea this market existed until some things happened with Etsy, which I'm more than happy to explain if you have a question about it. But these ladies became my target market, my niche. They were my early adopters. And I want to stick in this lane as best as I can. So here's some more timelines. So January 29th, I had 10 made by hand and I gave 2 away for reviews. April 16th, I sold my first 2 on Etsy. And I want you to see below, from idea to first sale, $468.97. I am not kidding. I am lean. I am focused. I'm a bootstrapper. May 5th, I sold my last 6 to a store called mastectomyshop.com. Also, she owns a Fitting Experience, which is a brick and mortar. This is my business model. Make money and do good. You can do both, and that's what I want to do. So my marketing is all organic all the time. I've been getting my customers, my wholesale customers, by cold emails. I basically find them online that are people I think would be interested, and I cold email them. I do have a social media director. We do Instagram and a Facebook page, and I'm expecting to get some of my retail from there, and that equals sales. But I have no budget for paid ads of any kind. I don't do it. So where am I at? And so today and tomorrow. So literally as of yesterday, 4women.com and asked me if they could place an order for 100. And I was like, yeah. Mastectomy Shop has an order for 50. Met About You too. They're waiting on some fancier pics that I just sent to them actually. But here's the deal, wig shops. That's a new discovery. And I can tell you how I discovered that if you want to ask me in the Q&A. But this has been such a great discovery. And I'll tell you more about it. And literally Back to the Future, when this all clears up with COVID, I'm going to go back to travel and camping and colleges. It's just not there right now. And finally, thank you. That's my website, beaniesleeper.com, beaniesleeper@gmail.com. Please, please, please follow me on Instagram. No, I'm not kidding. Follow me on Instagram. Get your phones out. And if anybody wants to buy a Beanie Sleeper, shoot me an email. And as soon as I get them in, I will send it out to you. I know I went really fast. I hope that's okay. That's it.
Outstanding. Well, I tell you what, I didn't have to give you a 1-minute warning at all.
Oh, I was literally looking at I hope that was all right. I knew I blew, but
No, it's great. 5 minutes. I mean,
Okay, cool.
there's nothing bad with that at all. So
I'm really hoping people ask me lots of questions because I'm very open. There's very little you can't ask me.
great. Well, people, if you want to ask questions, now's your time to raise your hand in the participants area. So if you go and click up there or down the bottom if you've got a PC, then you can just raise your hand. And no one has raised their hand yet. Maybe it's just that awesome. But wait, Katie's got a question.
Apparently, being the co-host, I can't raise my hand, so
that's right.
I'll do it this way. That I was really impressed with how kind of short and succinct you were able to be, Ben, with all of that. And I'm curious, since you're going after this particular market, like what are the terms that people are searching for that like lead them to your product?
So let me tell you about what terms I use to find my market. I was on Etsy and I had the paid $10 thing, and that allowed me to actually look at keywords people were using to find my product. And the keywords were chemo beanie or chemo hat, which I'd never heard of. But when I put that into a Google search, I started to find Med About You Too. I found, what's it called? Sylvia's, Survivor Hat. I found a bunch of others that were this market for people going through chemotherapy and all the products they would need. And that's how I started reaching out to them. So it was purely by checking out what's happening on Etsy, and then moving that forward. And it was something that wasn't planned until literally I had to, because the other ones weren't working.
Awesome. David Shore, please.
Hey, thanks, Eric, and thanks, Ben. Great to hear your presentation. I think you were starting to answer my question with Etsy. I'm curious about, you mentioned that it's, the marketing is kind of this organic process, but are most of your sales like people, one of these, like say women's groups contacting you directly to order 50, or is it mostly through Etsy?
No, all of these. I'm sorry.
I'm just curious, like how
all of my sales to date are me cold emailing.
Cold emailing.
Etsy got me to the keywords.
Oh.
But actually, I don't even sell on Etsy anymore. Okay. And I sell wholesale. I actually have nothing in retail at the moment. So all of my sales are wholesale. So I sell directly to these places. And I found them basically by doing cold email, sharing a little bit about my story and why I'm doing this. And then, I send them photos, or now I send them to my website, and I get a response or I don't. But it's really cold emails.
Right. And that is that your near-term plan then, to continue on the wholesale track?
Yeah. Once I get product, my site will have an e-commerce function. And like Katie says, she wants to buy one, I would send her directly to my website at that moment.
Okay.
For now, I can't, and that's why I said email me if you want one, because I just don't have that ready.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, David. Great question. Murgesh, you're up next, sir.
Yeah, good stuff, Ben. So I'm curious as to how you priced it, came about pricing. Do you look at some comparables that people are looking for? And secondarily, I'm curious why you don't have a website, because I think if you're talking directly to customers, you can actually get feedback, right? You can get more feedback than going through wholesalers, the end user. So just some care.
Murgesh, I do have a website. BeanieSleeper.com.
No, for e-commerce. You're not selling.
Oh yeah, no. I'm turning it into an e-commerce. I'm sorry. Yeah. It will be an e-commerce. Just not yet. But that's happening in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, good enough.
Yeah. Originally, I didn't plan on retail. I strictly planned on wholesale, but that's silly. So I'm sorry. Oh, how I came up with the pricing? Yeah, very scientific. Basically, they were costing me $15 to make. And I said, I can't lose money. So when I was asked how much are they, I said they're $15 for wholesale. and they bought them, and that became my wholesale price. $30 retail was when mastectomyshop.com, they put them on their site for $30. And so now I have $15 wholesale, $30 retail, and I've kind of stuck with that. That seems to be what the market will bear at this point. The fact is they're selling, so I think it's good. But I mean, I will tell, yeah, so it wasn't anything scientific other than, you know, my dad, he was a wholesale beauty distributor, and some things you give away and some things you sell at a premium. So I didn't mind losing money on my first few because I thought it was more important to be on those people's website because it made me look really good. If I'm on Mastectomy Shop, then I look very legit and like I've been around forever.
So it still costs you $15 to make them?
No, now it doesn't. No, now it costs me, because those were handmade. It actually cost me a little more, but those were handmade. The new ones are costing me $7.50.
Okay.
To make. So yeah, so I ended up making, so after my wholesale, I probably make about $6.80 a beanie wholesale, but retail, I have to charge 35 for because of postage. I'll make 22 and change on a retail item.
Okay. Thank you.
Fantastic. Tessa, you have a question.
Yeah, and sorry, Ben, I am in the car driving, so I don't have my video on, and I hope
No
you can
worries.
hear me okay. I've just two questions related to each other. It seemed very important for you that you wanted people to follow you on Instagram, and so I'm wondering, why is that important to you? And if I were to follow you, what is it that I'm getting from you on Instagram that would make me want to follow you?
Thank you so much. So it's important for me because that will be my channel to retail sales. And what you'll get when you follow me, we put out 2 to 3 posts a week, mainly on, because I'm in that lane for chemo treatment and trying to be a help and do good within the cancer community. That's really the focus. So there'll be posts about, like it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, or there'll be posts on how to getting better rest, or posts on chemo kits, things you can give to people who, when you know, who are. It's a really sensitive thing, but I'm also going to be included. I started to include like men with prostate cancer and other types of cancers, because I found out that men don't really share about this stuff. And actually, when I looked, I found very few things about men sharing their story, where women share all the time, which is fantastic. But that's really why I'm trying to get people to follow me on Instagram.
Thank you. Yeah, that's interesting kind of connection there, I think. And you know, it's not like, and it's genuine. It's not like pulling at the heartstrings. It's like, I'm coming to this because I feel like I can help with my product. So that is definitely motivating. And I think that would be good to share with people why, like, what it is that you'll be getting from them if they join you on Instagram, so that there's like a motivation to at you, you know?
Yep, thank you. That's a great point.
Oh, Katie has her hand up again.
Okay. So I went to your website, I looked at the photos. Could you actually pull it back up your slide about that has the photos of the actual one? So it looks to me like you're kind of solely marketing this as something you sleep in, right? Like you're not also saying, yeah, well, you could then also wear it out in the cold or whatever else, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there?
Well, that's not really, I see your point, but that's not what I'm doing, but I get what your point is.
Yeah, I was just like, I guess my question was really more around like, can it be multifunctional, right? So if somebody does buy it, like, would it work in a different application, I guess?
I really never imagined it to be worn outside.
Sure.
That's one of the reasons we specially designed it with the low fabric sides and back. So you can actually sleep on your side or be in a chair, because that's kind of the positions people are in when they're in chemo, or when you're lying on your couch, or when you're lying in bed, right? That's really the design of that. I'm saying sleep because everybody relates to that, but on my site will be things like how people are using it. Right now, I don't have access to a person who bought it because I'm selling wholesale. I'd have to go through my retailers to see if they can get that for me. That's one thing I'm hoping to do when I sell e-commerce on my site. I can have direct contact because I have one testimonial on my site, and that's from Gabe, a friend of mine who I sent it to, who used it and wrote a nice testimonial, right? Because I had access to him.
Right.
But yeah, so there will be more photos about like with people using it in different ways. It's just, this is kind of what I could afford at the moment.
Yeah.
And plus, Met About You Too wants to sell them on her Amazon shop page, and I want her to do that.
Yeah.
And she needed photos like this, so hopefully that'll work.
Yeah. Well, I liked that you had the photo on your website of like someone in an airport, like trying to get that eye. Like I could relate to that. Like I could relate to using this on an airplane whenever I take an airplane again. But I just started kind of like brainstorming and thinking about other ideas. And I wonder if like in the future, there's like a kids market, right?
Yeah,
Especially
absolutely.
like kids with chemo for sure. Like if you wanted to keep going down that route, but I also wonder if like kids who have anxiety or sensory challenges, right? Like being able to kind of shut some things out could be really good for them.
I agree with you. And one thing my factory does is I could have 100 different sizes and it's not a big deal. I chose for the one size fits most because I'm a one-man band. And I thought I would drive myself nuts, especially for this first round. So this really fits both men and women. If your head is like a 21.5 up to a 23.75, you're good to go. It doesn't fit like petite women because my niece is petite and it didn't fit her. So, but like it fits my mom, it fits my sister, me, my friends. So that was kind of the idea. But yeah, I do want to do that. Let me just say, I do want to do that eventually. But right now, my real goal is I want to sell these. I need to sell these. I really do.
So we've got time for 2 more questions. I've got one. It's not really as much of a question as it is an observation. As you guys were talking, all I kept thinking about was there's got to be, especially for something like the kids, there's got to be nonprofits out there that are willing to pay the wholesale price for something that would make children going through chemo more comfortable. And I think that might be a pathway you can go look to and say, look, I'm not trying to make money. This is what it cost me. Here's my wholesale price. But I would love for you guys to get it out there so we can get relief to these kids.
It's a great point. I just had a meeting yesterday with a woman who, it doesn't matter what she does, but she actually is in the medical health industry. And she pointed out the same thing. Yeah, so those are all on my list of things to do because it's really, I mean, even if I stayed in this lane, there's a tremendous opportunity here. So I'm not saying no to this, no to that. No, I'm saying no to nothing. I'm saying yes to selling. And I mean, just so you know, I will be implementing a buy one, give one because it's super important. When I said my business model is to do good and make money, I'm not kidding. I really do want to make money. I want this to be my job. I don't want to go back to whatever that 9 to 5 was. I want to sit at home. I want to do this. I want to pack things. This is what I want to do. I have another product in mind. This is what I want to do. But the buy one, give one will start in, I'm hoping about 3 months. I just got to make sure I can afford to do it. But yeah, that's gonna happen. That's very important to me.
Fantastic. Murgesh, one last question.
Yeah, do you have any trademark? I just did a search on Google. Your thing comes up right on top, which seems like a unique thing. I'm a little surprised about it, honestly, but it's really cool that Beanie Sleeper is yours. Do you have any protections against it? And if you're going to brand it and it takes off, somebody else may pollute that, right? So
well, here's the thing. I'm applied for a trademark. Yeah. So I'm just, they needed to see these types of photos, which I didn't have. Yeah. So I'm still waiting on that. I've decided I'm not going to patent anything, although I've been told I could. I just don't want to. Why? Because somebody's going to steal it. Yeah. And it's just going to happen. I mean, this isn't rocket science. It's just a better way. So I'm hoping, but yeah, I know. I was surprised. I come right on top if you put Beanie Sleeper.
Yeah, trademark is what I was thinking about, actually.
Yeah, trademark.
The word is
that's in the works.
Right, more valuable over time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the works, definitely. So I do own beaniesleeper.com, and I will own Beanie Sleeper as a trademark.
Good stuff. Thanks.
I no longer sell
yeah.
on Etsy.
Oh, hi, Andrew.
Yeah, because my sister tried to buy one of my products on Etsy, and the sale didn't go through. So that's why
Yeah.
I stopped.
Yeah, it's out of because it's out of stock. There's no sale can go through. If your sister wants to buy one, she can email me directly, and when they come in, I'm more than happy to get one to her.
But
or hopefully my e-commerce site will be up by then, but if it's not.
Have you sold on Etsy before or not yet?
No, I did. Absolutely. That's how I got my first. Yeah, that's how I sold.
You had customers through Etsy?
No, it wasn't a great resource for me. I could never make a living off of Etsy. That's why I went a different route.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks everyone. We do have time if you want to try to answer that real quick. I think.
Well, I didn't hear the last part.
What e-commerce site are you going to go through?
I'm going to go through mine. I mean, beaniesleeper.com will be an e-commerce site in about 2 weeks. Yeah. That's what I'm shooting for.
Okay. So Ben, when you get done with this lovely presentation and the question and answer, we know that there's something more that you want to ask the community. So the question that we ask is, what can the 1 Million Cups community do for you? And just to remind you and everyone here, we're not asking for answers now. We're asking you to reach out to Ben. If you've got this over the next week, month, year, when you think about it, to support Ben in his awesome vision of making Beanie Sleeper a hit.
You guys, there's nothing I love more than a Zoom meeting or anything. If anybody has anything, but here's what I need. This is my ask. I need to sell these, right? So, but here's the thing. If I'm also looking for warm introductions to cancer centers, hospitals, sleep something or others, travel something or others. I'm really looking for those kinds of warm introductions, not just, well, you should sell on this site if you know that person. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Because right now, the most important thing is that I stay in business. That's really the most important thing. And that's what I've been trying to do this entire year. Everything I've been focused on is about making money and staying in business so that I can do the good I want to do. So I hope that, yeah, and thank you guys so much for this. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much. That was outstanding. Everyone give the magic hands, whatever you want to do, wave, do a little Rocky and Bullwinkle, whatever you want to do. There we go. I see some hands going. So everyone, that was fantastic. We made great time, and we're roughly 2 minutes ahead of the schedule I was handed. Woohoo! So our next presenter for the day is Hal from SCORE. And Hal, you are able to take over the screen if you want as a presenter.
Thank you.
And share. Fantastic. Take it away.
Let's see. Okay, as I mentioned, or Eric mentioned from SCORE, we're a 56-year-old organization that's all volunteer. Many of us are retired, but you don't have to be retired. Originally, SCORE stood for something, but it doesn't stand for anything more than a logo anymore. We're organized across the country and in the territories by regions, districts, local chapters, and then by individual committees.
Hey, Hal, can I enter? Are you showing anything on your screen right now?
Yeah, yes.
We're not seeing it. So you need to go down to the bottom and say, share my screen when it says share content so we can see what you're doing. Sorry about that.
Okay. I thought I did that, but obviously not. Now can you see it?
I can't see it. Does anyone else see it?
Nope.
Oh, I wonder if Ben has to release his screen.
Yes.
I stopped sharing.
You stop sharing?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, technical difficulties. Perfect that we had 2 minutes left over.
Okay.
Let's see. So I don't have my screen. I'm not sharing.
Okay.
Oh, there he goes. There we
Okay.
go.
Very
Beautiful.
good. Okay. Thank you.
If you'd like to start over, I think that's only fair so we can see everything.
Well, I covered who we are and how we came into existence, but the most important things here on there is our mission, and our mission is to foster vibrant small business communities through education and mentoring. Did I say we're free? Yeah, we're free. And our vision is that everybody has the support necessary to thrive in small business. And now I can't get it to go advance.
Try the arrow keys on your keyboard.
Uh-huh. And it was working before. Oop. I guess I'm going to have to do it manually with the rolling ball. To give you an idea for the district, state of Washington, we have Seattle, Tacoma, but we also have locations in Bellingham, Wenatchee, Spokane, Tri-Cities. And I put in down in the lower right, Portland, because there's actually a chapter in Portland and a branch in Vancouver, Washington. We have created last year, and keep in mind, we're on a fiscal year with the federal government, so it's October 1 to September 30. So our next fiscal year will come out for 20, will come out in January at the earliest. But last year we created almost 100,000 jobs, and for every dollar that Congress appropriated for us, and keep in mind, they only do about 20% of our annual operating funds, we return almost $35 to the US Treasury, which is a bargain. The most important thing here is 87% of our clients would recommend us to their family and friends, and 69% said they made a difference, and we made a difference in their business. And with 3.5 hours or more of mentoring, we show 2 times the success rate than you would do if you were on your own. Mentioned that we have education, live webinars, recorded webinars. These are all free. We have hundreds of them, and they're available to you. Also, various templates and classes that you can take at your own speed. We do have some local experts that deliver workshops, and we do charge nominally for those. They mostly run about $55 for a 3.5 hour workshop, and they cover everything from saving money on taxes to HR and other relevant subjects for the community. All of our materials are available in English and Spanish, which is very important. And to get a SCORE mentor, go to score.org, and you'll see up in the left-hand corner of the screen, it says find a mentor. You click on that, you'll get an electronic drop down. You enter your zip code in there, and after you hit submit on that, you will get an electronic form to fill out. It immediately goes into the headquarters, which is in Herndon, Virginia, gets routed to the local chapter chair and or office, and then you'll be assigned a mentor initially. And that is something where our job isn't to know everything. Ours is to find you the right resource that you need at the time that you're asking. And we make it a goal to respond to you within 48 hours of you filling out the form. And lastly, something I'm really excited about is for the prior 23 years, we have had a biz fair held at Renton Technical College, and it's pretty much been Central Puget Sound with about 300 attendees. It's always been free. We're making it free again this year, but we're taking it virtual and statewide. So for any friends, family, whatever, you can sign up, go to bizfair.org, and you have a day where we're having 5 tracks, 4 classes each, and everything will be available for 3 months after the conference. So you don't have to worry about taking everything on one day. And for the first time this year, we're going to have commercial sponsors. So you can actually go to their booths and get information. So if it's like DocuSign and you need electronic documents that you can send for your business, you'll have them. Staples, other small business focused organizations. So with that said, I'll open it up to questions.
Thanks, Al. That was perfect. I got like just a little over 6 minutes and we had a break in there. So you did fantastic. I love it. You guys have been great today. So yes, everyone, if you want to, once again, if you want to pop in here with some questions, just raise your hand in the participants list and we can get things going. My question to get things kind of started for you, Hal, has been, is what stage, I mean, how far can someone be along when they come to you? I mean, do you want someone who's brand new with a brand new idea, or do you want someone who's maybe been in it for a year and they're stumbling? When is it too late to come see you?
Never.
Okay.
Never. We help new businesses get organized and started, and people that are in business that may be stagnated, get them unstuck and grow. And all of our workshops and mentoring are intended for that purpose. And for those that aren't sure the difference between mentoring and being a consultant, we don't do the work for you, but we help guide you through the process.
That's a good distinction. That's a very good distinction.
And in the Seattle area, there are about 108 certified mentors. And if I can't find somebody to fill your specific need here, we have over 10,000 across the country.
How does someone go about, I mean, is there a training path that you guys supply to them, or do they come from a university setting? How do they get that certification?
There is a specific process where you take a number of online courses, and there's also part of that is taking a code ethics annually, and we cannot in any way take part in a fiscal position in your company or receive any money from you. We do take donations on a national level. We are a 501c3, but that's strictly for operational funds.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm looking around. Is there anyone else who's got a question right now? Oh, Katie does. She's raising her hand.
Yeah. So you mentioned that some of the services or the education that you all provide is free, and then some of them there's a cost. What distinguishes that, and like how would we know that from the website?
Well, if you go onto the local website, which is seattle.score.org, there is a listing for workshops, just like there is on the national site, but then there is an additional drop down for local workshops, and it will list the various subjects, the length, the cost, and a description there of the person that's teaching it.
Great. Yeah, this just to let you all kind of know that with SCORE is one of the kind of first of presentations that you'll see in the coming months from different kind of community partners that we're trying to partner with. So that way we all have, we all know more about the services that are available to us as entrepreneurs, and to continue to expand on that education pillar, that there's more knowledge out there. I just noticed that there's a business plan in 3 hours workshop. That's one that definitely appeals to me rather than sitting down for a lot longer than that to do it. So just some ideas.
And that one focuses primarily on the lean canvas. If you're familiar with that, that's a concept that we employ all the time.
The qualifications? Oh, what are the qualifications to be a mentor?
Well, we have 3 different classifications of mentors. One is someone that does actual mentoring and has experience in a particular area. One is as a workshop presenter, and another is a content specialist, where they, I guess you could call subject matter experts. For instance, we have one fellow that doesn't do any mentoring at all on his own, but he's full-time with Amazon fulfillment, and that's his business. And when I have somebody that needs expert advice on fulfillment by Amazon, I bring him in.
That's super smart there. So you're talking, you got some subject matter experts on top of the trainers. I think that's a fantastic way to go. It's kind of like the best of both worlds. So fantastic.
And the guy that is our head of our workshop committee, he used to do that kind of work for small business education at Microsoft.
I think we're pretty fortunate in this area to have these large companies, and their expertise is what people need. You know, like you just said, if you're at Amazon and people are looking for that, that's fantastic. And you guys have tapped into that. Is that the same? Like, is your person local here available to other people outside of the local? I mean, like if someone from Herndon, Virginia is looking to do fulfillment by Amazon, can they get in touch with your guy here? Is that like our own little secret?
No. Once you're registered with SCORE, you have access to anybody in the country and the territories, and you can actually research specialists in your specific area by yourself. I received a call from someone in New Orleans 2 weeks ago.
Outstanding. What's your specialty?
How about somebody from Guam?
Well, with Zoom, you do have access to Guam. We don't have an office in Guam, but we do have 2 offices in Puerto Rico, for instance. And most of the time we're located with the Small Business Administration in major cities. Other areas, we have donated space from community colleges and in-kind sponsors like Wells Fargo.
Outstanding, outstanding. We've got time for a couple more questions if someone has one. If not, we can go into the breakout rooms a little early. Anybody else? I think we're all set.
I haven't asked, by the way.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we've got to do that. What can we do for you as the 1 Million Cups community?
Okay. I worked for 30 years, and to answer the question about what I did, I sold office furniture to the government at all levels. And I know where all of your money is. Anyway, we pride ourselves in being very inclusive and equity driven. And out of 108 mentors in the greater Seattle area, we only have 1 Spanish speaking mentor. I have a personal goal to have 6 Spanish speaking mentors, and 3 of them to be women.
That is a wise choice. That's a great ask. So community, if you know someone who's wants to be a mentor or has that experience and is Spanish speaking, I think that's a great thing for us to do. Make a connection. That's what we're doing. We're connectors here. So everyone, thanks so much, Hal.
And by the way, I would like to invite one of you to attend one of our monthly SCORE meetings so that you can understand us a little better. Because we do them all on Zoom, and we're not in person yet. So it'll expose you to 100 of us, and we get to understand a little bit about 1 million cups. Thank you.
Is there a for that invitation, you want to send a link to us and let us know?
I will.
Fantastic.
It's always the second Tuesday of every month. We're not having it this coming month in November because if you look at the 10th, that is
your event,
Biz Fair. So I encourage you all to sign up and check out Biz Fair. It's a pretty cool event. We're expecting something between 4,000 and 10,000 attendees.
Wow. Okay. That's a big event. All right, everyone. Well, we can break into breakout rooms right now. Katie, you may have to take care of that too. Let's see if I have that skill with my iPad. And it looks like I don't. Katie, can you handle making breakout rooms for me? This is the world of the iPad.
I clicked on stop share, by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You may have to make me the host. I don't know that I can do it.
Let's see, participants.
Yeah, Hal, you didn't click off of screen share. You're still sharing.
Says,
there we go.
There we go. And Katie, you are now the host.
Now I can do it.
Woohoo, woohoo.
Alrighty.
Thanks everyone for being here today. It was fantastic. Awesome to try to do this with two. And I can't believe how well our speakers were at getting things done in less than 6 minutes. You guys rock.
Let me tell you, Katie's a hardcore coach.
Oh yeah.
I see.
Take it out. Take it out.
Like, do it again. Do it again. Take it out.
By the way, Ben, I'd like to comment on something that Katie put up on the screen, and that was she found a competitor to you. Okay, and you can research your competitors for free if you have a library card, and the old name is Reference USA. You can do it online. You can put in their name. You'll get the people that are in control of the company, the approximate expenses and income of the company, and you can also find other competitors.
It's called Reference
USA, and it's they're changing the name, but it's still as you look under electronic resources at the Seattle Public Library, click on the R and you'll go there.
Perfect. Thank you.
And for everybody else, there's also